gon' take it up from last year. Shoot on my shot, boy, I'm long range. Me and the team on the same thing. Stayed down, never switched up. Only thing changed was the game. I'm in the zone now. Nothing can change what we on now. When I pull up, know it's going down. Foot on the gas, ain't no slowing down. Aiming for greatness, no settling. Kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Taking no L's, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change, yeah. Me. Tell them this life, yeah, it's still la vie. I'm taking a shot for my enemies. I can't waste no more time on my energy. I know they know I got it on lock. Go against me, that's a long shot. Cause I'm counting wins all around the clock. Never doubt me, boy, I don't stop. Who do you feel when they make you the monster? I am not scared of none of you imposters. Taking the lead now while they watching. Think you should leave now while the option. Taking no L's, yeah, I gotta win. Watch me kick down the doors, they won't let me in. Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down, no.
Man, oh man. Welcome to another edition of the It's Cavalier podcast. It's your boy Mac. You already know what it is, right? Our Cleveland Cavaliers went to battle with the Oklahoma City Thunder in what many, including myself, believe to be the rematch of the season. A true clash of the Titans, or should I say wrath of the Titans, because this was shaping up to be round two. And I think many people would still consider these two teams to be the two best teams in basketball. And I did not think that the Cavaliers would find a way to disappoint us after emerging victorious in round one versus this OKC Thunder team who played a very good game in the first matchup as well. And since that prior matchup back last Wednesday, the Thunder compiled a 3-0 record behind the strong play of SGA, who we're going to talk about a lot, Jalen J-Dub Williams, and Isaiah Hartenstein. But Hart was out. There was no Hart tonight, and there will be no Hart for at least the next week or so, as he suffered a soleus strain, which is basically a calf injury, if I'm not mistaken. But they did get pesky wing Alex Caruso, who was noticeably absent from the first matchup back. That, my friends, would leave OKC with just two centers in the likes of the other Jalen Williams and Brandon Carlson, another player who we'll talk about in a bit. Not an enviable position on paper, but frankly, one that the Cavaliers have been in before. You needn't look any further than last season's playoffs to get an understanding of what I'm talking about. That said, this OKC team is still clearly capable of giving anybody a tough game. And the Cavaliers would get one tonight. Oh, would they? They would get just the kitchen sink thrown at them. Some uncanny shit happened tonight, guys. They did it on both ends of the floor. SGA, Lou fucking Dort. Lou Dort was hitting cross mid-range jumpers. He was drilling triples like he was Steve Kerr out there in Game 7 of a Chicago NBA Finals. I don't understand what was going on tonight. It was something in the air, but they absolutely kicked Cleveland's ass. They handed Cleveland's ass to them. I'll tell you what, man. This was not a good performance. This was not good for the all-star agenda, save for one Darius Garland, who was the lone bright spot with 20 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists, was 7 of 10 from the field, and was still a minus 18 in his 24 minutes of action. I get it. It's one game. I'm not about to sit here and complain about the season being done, or the Cavaliers just being, pretenders, anything like that. It's just one game. But, man, as I tweeted out, my head is telling me that it is just one game. It'll be okay. But my heart is telling me that this shit meant something. It meant something to get your ass handed to you on national TV. It does not feel good. I know all teams have these types of performances from time to time, but I just was not expecting. Hell, if the Cavaliers would have lost tonight and it would have been a close game, I wouldn't have been too upset. This OKC team is still clearly one of the 3 best teams in basketball, even without Isaiah Hartenstein, even without Chet Holmgren. They're that good. But to be dismantled the way that they were tonight, the game's not even over. It's that bad. I'm live streaming while the game is still going on. You guys know that I typically go, as real Cavs fans down here points out, y'all know I typically go post game, but this shit is terrible. This game was terrible. 139 to 109 with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left on the clock. It's bad. It was bad. Not a performance that you're going to want to look back on finally, or maybe they should. Maybe they should look at the film and look at some of these turnovers that they had tonight. The Cleveland Cavaliers turned the ball over 21 times. The game is not even over yet. The game is not even over yet, and they've turned the ball over 21 times. I don't even know how to rationalize that. They have surrendered 30 points off of turnovers. Hell, these assholes had 22 points off of turnovers by halftime. They forced 13 turnovers by halftime. And for context, the Thunder, they're up there, right? They're number one in the league in terms of points off of turnovers per game. They scored 23.2 per game. They had 22 by halftime. Let that sink in. And they have 30 as the game is still going on. They absolutely bludgeoned Cleveland. They whooped Cleveland's ass tonight. No if, ands, or buts about it. They outscored Cleveland 34-14 in the first quarter alone. Is that bad? The number one option here in town most nights, Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell has now a combined 6 of 31 against the Oklahoma City Thunder this season. Only 2 games. 2-game sample size, but they have absolutely played Donovan Mitchell brilliantly on the defensive end. And I got to admit it, Donovan got some good looks tonight. Donovan missed some open shots tonight. It wasn't all just the OKC defense that limited Donovan like they did in the prior matchup. Donnie just disappointed tonight, frankly. He has now wilted in these last 2 games against OKC. I'm not going to shit on him any further than that because Donovan is clearly still being he has still been an all-star caliber player this year entirely. When you look at the full season, right? Body of work and not just a singular game, but man, just a bad performance. 8 points on 3 of 15, including 1 of 4 from 3-point distance, and a minus 28. That is the worst plus minus in the starting 5. No bueno. No bueno. Now, his contemporary on the other side, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 40 points on 17 of 26 from the field, plus 32. And I get it. It did feel like SGA was kind of padding the stats there to the end. We can complain about that all we want to, but man, they just kicked that. They kicked Cleveland's ass tonight. So they kind of deserve to, run the score up a little bit. I get it, gamesmanship, shit like that, sportsmanship, whatever you want to say, but it was bad, man. It was bad. And again, I got to remind you guys, this is coming in a game where they basically had one center that had been on the roster for more than just 10 days. Because Brandon Carlson, who played a pretty good game tonight himself, is on a 10-day contract. Jalen Williams was the only other true center on the roster. They did not have Chet Holmgren, obviously. They did not have Isaiah Hartenstein. So the thought process coming into tonight was, hey, Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley can eat. They can dominate this matchup, force feed them. They don't have the size. They don't have the requisite size to keep up with the bigs. They did. They contained. They absolutely shut shit down defensively. They held the duo of Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen to a combined 18 points. Jarrett Allen wasn't terrible, right? 13 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. 6 of 6 from the field. But Evan Mobley was nowhere to be found. Really, just the entire team, it felt, was nobody was to be found. Everybody just decided to stay home today. It just was not. It was not a great performance, man. It was not a great performance from this team. I thought that at certain points the Cavaliers had what it took to get back into this game. There's a stretch in which Darius Garland scored 9 straight for Cleveland towards the midway point of the second quarter. And I thought, hey, this shit's not over yet. We can get back into this one. And then and then they went on this incredible run before halftime and forced a ton of turnovers. And then the third quarter happened and Cleveland just got absolutely bludgeoned some more. They got destroyed. They allowed OKC 40 plus point quarters in the second and third. You heard that correctly. The Thunder scored 43 points in the second and they followed that up with 44 points in the third. The defense was nowhere to be found tonight. And my, oh my, you guys heard me mention Lou fucking Dort. This dude, this motherfucker, 22 points on 8 of 11 from the field, including 6 of 9 from 3-point range. Now, I don't know who that was. I don't know who number 5 was for OKC because that clearly was not Lou Dort out there. That must have been, like I said, Steve Kerr out there. That must have been prime Steph Curry because that did not look like Lou Dort. On the offensive end, he gave the Cavaliers fits, and then on the defensive end, he clamped shit down. I just I'm trying to tell myself it's just one game. It is just one game at the end of the day, but again, this really felt like it meant something specifically because it was on national TV. This happened to be one of 7 games in Lou Dort's career in which he has knocked down at least 6 triples. Just a bad loss, man. Again, one game, just one game. This one hurts. I wanted this one bad for the All-Star agenda, for the Cleveland Cavaliers are the best team in the league agenda, for whatever agenda you want to throw out there, man. And it just did not work out in our fashion. There was no rhythm. OKC kind of clamped things up and jammed up the passing lanes. They forced a ton of turnovers. And I'll say this one more time. I felt like Cleveland did themselves no favors. I felt like they did themselves no favors in regards to the turnovers. They definitely turned the ball over a ton, and OKC was responsible for a ton of those, but I feel like a lot of them were avoidable, man. I felt like a lot of them were avoidable. It was a bad showing all the way around. There's not much, if anything, good that I can say about tonight's performance on the Cavaliers side, outside of Darius Garland being the only Cavalier to fucking show up. It was bad. 21 turnovers to OKC's 6. OKC turned the ball over 6 times. You cannot turn the ball over against this team. They averaged 23.2 points off of turnovers. They lead the NBA in steals. They can clamp down, man. They can absolutely clamp down on you. And this performance, man, they're going to be talk of the town after this because they did not have Isaiah Hartenstein, but man, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and let this be a serious overreaction because I'm just fuming, right? It's just a bad game and it's got me in my feelings. And I'm not going to use tonight as a performance to, say the Cavaliers need to go out and just completely change course in terms of their roster construction or anything like that. But man, oh man, it was bad. I've seen a lot of talk about how George Niang and Isaac Okoro and Sam Merrill and Dean Wade need to be moved. I've seen talks about how Donovan Mitchell is not a superstar. He wilts under pressure. Evan Mobley does not need to be called a unicorn. People are sending things to me left and right on Twitter. And you know what? Tonight is the night where I just got to sit back and not let my Twitter fingers get me in trouble because I'm not going to go out here and overreact to one game. But I understandably, I see why people are pissed off. I get it because the Cavaliers just wet the bed. They completely shit their pants on national television. As the title of this reactionary pod says, they got their asses whooped on national TV by the Oklahoma City Thunder so badly that the stars were pulled basically before the fourth quarter. Donovan Mitchell played 21 minutes. Darius Garland played 24. Dean Wade played 25. Dean Wade was your minutes leader for the Cleveland Cavaliers. How many fucking times is that going to happen? You know something bad has happened when Dean Wade is your minutes leader. You just got to give credit where it's due, man. OKC was phenomenal tonight. It wasn't just SGA. It wasn't just Lou Dort. Jalen Williams, phenomenal all-star caliber play from him too. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 blocks, 3 steals, plus 29. You have the 10-day contractor in Brandon Carlson in 17 very good minutes. 11 points and 4 rebounds, including 3 of 6 from 3-point range. Again, this dude is on he's on a 10-day contract. He's not even an everyday player, yet the Cavaliers absolutely let him cook. They let him cook from 3-point range. It did not sit well with me. And I get you have the scouting report says that Carlson is not necessarily a great shooter. And I understand that as he's only shooting 30%, prior to tonight's game. It's going to go up, but he came in shooting just 30% from the 3-point range. I mean, what do you say to that? What do you say to 3 of 6 from the 10-day contract guy? Yeah, what do you do? What do you say in regards to that? They just were hitting shots that you did not feel like they had the opportunity most nights to make. Alex Caruso in his return, in his 14 minutes, 10 points, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from 3-point distance. They just shot very, very well at times. And I get that the end stat line's going to say they shot 34% from 3-point range, but they drilled 18 triples tonight on 53 attempts. It was embarrassing. It was flat out embarrassing to let them do what they did. The only positive thing I'm going to say is Darius go out and play like an all-star at points. And the Cavaliers, at least they scored 100 tonight. That's it. That's all I got. I know I'm positive most of the time, but that's literally all I got. This is one game where the upset nature of fans and being a fan and being pissed off about the way your team plays. This is one game where I'm not going to argue with people because this is just bad. As Trevian McHelton says, one game, y'all, one game. I get it. Doesn't make it any less painful. Doesn't make it any less embarrassing on national fucking TV. Pitiful performance from the Cavaliers. I'm not going to sit up here all night though and yap about a game where there's not frankly much to talk about because the Stars didn't play long. Nobody played more than Dean's 25 minutes, and OKC flat out shut shit down. There's just really no good talking point about tonight. Cleveland shot 31% from 3-point distance. They turned the ball over 21 times. They did win the rebounding battle. Yay, I guess. But it was bad, man. Just bad. OKC had 12 steals tonight to Cleveland's 2. Let that sink in. The Cleveland Cavaliers will return to action on Saturday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hopefully they can right the ship. Hopefully things get better. Hopefully we can stop turning the ball over so damn much as it feels like it's been a recurring element lately, but it really hasn't, right? Because against Indiana, although it felt like we turned the ball over a lot, they only turned the ball over 14 times in that second matchup against Indiana. I think they turned it over 13 the first, and that's right along their season average. They entered today 3rd in turnovers per game, if I'm not mistaken, with just 3. They don't, not 3, just 13. They turn the ball over just 13.1 times per contest, which is 3rd in the NBA behind, go figure, the Boston Celtics at 11.9 and OKC, who turns the ball over even less than Cleveland at 12.2. It's not like they are accustomed to doing that. They don't do it a lot, but tonight it was bad. And that's really all that I can say. And I hate to sound like a broken record, but that's all what it comes down to me. It's just the negligence with the ball handling, the pressure that wings, mostly bigger wings, put on Cleveland. Guys with length out there, they give Cleveland a lot of issues. Lou Dort tonight was pesky as hell. Jalen Williams, we know what he's capable. It's a long dude out there. SGA, he has been phenomenal defensively. The other Jalen Williams, who started in place of Isaiah Hartenstein tonight, even though he only had 5 points and 5 rebounds in just 14 minutes of action, he was pretty good on the defensive end himself. He did whack Darius Garland across the forehead. I was really pissed off about that. But I got to give it to him, man. This OKC team is legit. They were legit. And I felt like something that Cleveland has been doing these last couple of games is going to the zone defense more and more. It worked against Indiana, although Indiana shot very well against them in that last matchup. I thought they tried that shit with OKC tonight, and it did not work out in their favor. And we know OKC, I mean, they're not a team that typically shoots the lights out. OKC, if I am not mistaken, entered tonight shooting just 35.4% from three-point distance. That is 19th in the NBA. They don't attempt a ton of threes. They only attempt 37.9, which is 11th. I guess that's kind of up there, but not anywhere near what Cleveland does. It felt very uncharacteristic. I'll just say that. And I know it sounds like I'm disrespecting Lou Dort by just continuing to bring his name up, but he is shooting 40.4% from three-point distance prior to tonight. It's only going to go up after tonight's performance while doing what he's been doing on the defensive end. And that's good volume too. It's not like Isaac Okoro or Dean Wade level volume. It is 5.5 attempts per game. And he attempted, if I am not mistaken, 9 triples tonight. You got to give it to him. Two-way beast out there tonight. I don't think he's trash, as Trevion McKelton says. I think that he has certainly held Donovan Mitchell in check, in scenarios when he's the one-on-one defender. And again, it was not all Lou Dort. But Lou Dort has been phenomenal this season as a shooter. Again, 40+%. If we're going to give praise to guys like Isaac for shooting well this season, at least prior to that injury, if we're going to give praise to Evan Mobley, who's been a floor-stretching big now, we got to give praise to Lou Dort, because Lou Dort's been shooting the ball very, very good this year. And then he's a career 35.3% shooter from three-point distance. But over these last 2 seasons, he's turned a corner. 39.4% from three-point range last year on 5 attempts. 40.4% on 5.5 this season. It's only going to go up after tonight. And Lou Dort, if I'm not mistaken, he is only 25 years old. Phenomenal player, man. Phenomenal player. And he is capable of shutting shit down. Trevion McKelton says he's basically Davion Mitchell that can shoot better. Nah, I'm just hating. At least he clarified, right? At least he clarified. But nah, he was cooking tonight, man. I don't know what the hell. They need to test this asshole. But I'm just pissed. I'm just pissed because he's played a large part in holding Donovan Mitchell to 6 of 31. It wasn't all Lou, because Lou was credited for holding Donovan Mitchell to 1 of 6, because Don was 3 of 16 the first matchup. He was 3 of 15 tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Lou Dort was responsible for half of that, man. It's just bad, man. And I get people are pissed about what feels like the constant fouling that has been allowed against Cleveland these last couple of games against Indiana and OKC. And it does feel like they've been able to get away with it, while Cleveland, if you even breathe on the opponent, it feels like a foul is called. But if it's not getting called, you got to figure out a way around it. Dr. Manhattan says, genuine question, what can the Cavs do after having such a horrible night tonight? You turn the page. You just turn the page, man. You let it be a learning experience, and you go out and you take it out on the Minnesota Timberwolves. You take it out of the Minnesota Timberwolves on Saturday. That's all you can do. It is just one game. We all pissed. I get it. I'm definitely pissed. That's why I started the stream during the game. I never do that. Could not break my streak, though. I think that's probably the best place to end it at. I think I'm getting ready to call it a night over on the It's Cavalier podcast, about to jump ship over to my guy, Mikey McNuggets, over there on Ultimate Cavaliers. Catch me over there in a couple of minutes. But man, like I would tell you guys, if you'd like to reach out to me now, you can. It's Cavalier_pod on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and more. If you want to be added to this Cavalier Discord chat, you know what to do. Leave a rating, leave a review, send a screenshot of said review to iscavalier53@gmail.com. If you're watching over on X, do your boy a favor. Hit that like button over on YouTube. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber to the It's Cavalier podcast. Hit that notification bell so you always know when I'm going live or when I'm dropping a piece of premium Cavs content. Go Cavs.